unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV. We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV. We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV. We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV. We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV. We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV.
Now, of the 7 candidates, as a presiding and returning officer, yes, I did disqualify Wheeler, and the disqualification was duly communicated to him, yes, for the reason that, yes, and I hold this opinion, that he is not ordinarily resident in Zambia, as demanded by Article 100, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution. Therefore, we only have 6 candidates. So for Central Province, Chitalu Chirufya got 11 votes. Chandaka Totogwe 0. Chimbakambwili 0, Greyford Monde 3, Given Lubinda 2, and Makebizu 4. For Copperbelt Province, Chitalu Chirufya 20, Chandakatotobwe 0, Chishimbakambwili 6, Greyford Monde 0, Given Lubinda 2, and Makebizulu 40. For Eastern Province, I must first state that the results for Katete were rejected because the indication was that each and every candidate got 0. But in the final column, it was indicated another candidate got all the votes. Considered what was scored by each candidate, and the recording was nil. So for that reason, this ballot was rejected. So the results for Eastern Province as follows. Chitalu Chirufya 7, Chandakatotobwe 10, Chishimbakambwili 0, Greyford Monde 2, Given Lubinda 1, Makebi Zulu 51. For Luapula, Greyford Monde 0, Given Lubinda 0, Makebi Zulu 11. For Lusaka Province, Chitalu Chirufya 5, Chandakatotobwe 0, 0, Greyford Monde 4, Given Lubinda 5, Makebi Zulu 31. For Muchinga Province, Chitalu Chirufya 18, Chanda This is Northern Province. Chitalu Chirufya got 15, Chandakatotobwe 0, Chimbakambwili 0.
Good day. I hope we have volume. Thank you very much. I'm now very sensitive. I don't want to start the broadcast without checking the parameters of volume. But if there's any issue, just type in the comment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. We have civil society activist Brebner Changala, someone who was very close to the late president Edgar Lungu. He was a strong critic with Sishua and other activists to President Lungu in government. But uncharacteristic, they became very close with the late president when he was going under persecution and when he was in retirement. the country will recognize that Brebner Changala has been a very, very strong voice to ensure that the Patriotic Front is restored. He has written letters to the Chief Justice. He has condemned the delay that has occurred, and he has condemned the theft, the legal theft of the Patriotic Front. And with what happened over the weekend, where the Patriotic Front held a hybrid conference, it was in person, where members of the Central Committee met. They formed then later National Council together with some MPs and what constitutes the National Council, and voted. And then the rest of the districts were virtual. They met at designated centers, voted and filed in the results as set by the instructions of the Electoral Commission that was led by two former attorney generals, two former senior people. You saw Abraham once, a state council, reading some of the results there before I interrupted. So I thought, who best can comment about these results where Makebi Zulu emerged winner after he faced very, very strong candidates in Dr. Chimbaka Mbwili, Dr. Chitalu Chilufya, Engineer Chanda Katotowe, Honorable Greyford Monde, Acting President Honorable Given Lubinda. After facing these candidates, Makebi Zulu was declared winner of this poll. And we are still dealing with that. There are various statements flying around. I thought for this broadcast, we should invite one person who has been close. This has been his personal war. Not that he loves the PF. In fact, he fought the PF in government. But he thinks that the act of deplatforming the leadership of the Patriotic Front was an act against democracy, and was an act against the rule of law, and was an hijack of institutions such as the Registrar of Society, Parliament, and the Judiciary. Let me welcome Brebner Changala. Mr. Changala, welcome and thank you for joining us. And how's the farm?
Good evening, and good evening to your viewers. Farm life is as good as it were. We have got a lot of rains this season, and we should make use of nature, because the last seasons we suffered a lot. We lost a lot of animals, we lost the crop, but today, thank God, we are back in business. You
are dealing with many matters, including your court matters. You know, you've been a vocal critic on behalf of the people to put this government to account. I recognize you are very busy, and I only invited you at very short notice. We will not keep you very long, Honorable Brebner Changala. We'll let you speak for a period of 1 hour, then we'll let you go. The cause and others, I think you can monitor them on the phone. But we're going to hold you for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Let's get to the gist of this matter. You don't need a briefing on this matter, because I know to some extent they always consulted you on this process. Just when you heard about this final general conference that was held, what was your view? And walk us through from what you know before you give your opinion.
Once again, good evening, and good evening to your viewers. We must first build a historical background. You have rightly said, when the Patriotic Front was in power, that was not my favorite party for many, many reasons. And it's for that reason that I joined a group of senior citizens called OSIDA to map up a strategy on how we can stop the Patriotic Front going a day further than August 2021. It is from that desire and commitment that OSIDA decided to build a coalition of opposition political party to support the UPND, which was the largest opposition party at that time, and yet it was weak. It was weak because it was considered to be a regional party that would not get votes from other places and therefore allow the PF to continue. So we mounted a campaign and we got the Patriotic Front out, and the UPND came in. The UPND came in on a strong belief and platform of change. The UPND came in on the platform of the restoration of the rule of law, which we all collectively thought was under siege, under attack. And when UPND won, sworn in, there came a new dawn, a new beginning. What surprised many, I included, was that the preceding weeks and months, later on a year, it became very, very clear that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema had a total different agenda from what we supported. I must make it known here that we didn't give UPND support or indeed a blank check. Far from it. UPND's coming to power was to attend to many issues that made the Patriotic Front unfavorable. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema should have carried out in the first year or in the first few months, formed a commission to carry out judicial review, judicial reforms rather. They were supposed to have a commission to carry out police reforms, a commission to carry out civil service reforms, parastatal reforms, and law enforcement reforms. We intended to have a country that is ideal yet manageable in a manner we relate to each other in the manner of equality, governance, and the rule of law. But what we experienced, and very clearly so in the early stages, was Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's colleagues were actually envying the Patriotic Front. So they will change no law to that effect. They will not operationalize the public protector. What they will do is for us to trust them as good men. Where Kampiongo sat, they will put Jack Mwimbu. Where Kanganja sat as an IG, they will put Musamba. And more of that kind of changes. But what has come to pass is the change that we fought for was nothing but an illusion. We backed a wrong horse. And I will try to stop there because we are now in 2026. I have come to realize that never back a desperate man, especially somebody desperate for state power. Let Mr. Hakainde Hichilema be the last one. When it comes to the Patriotic Front, it sounds strange to many that a man who was so critical of this organization will become the advocate for its survival. I have become an advocate of the Patriotic Front, not that because I am a member. I am not. I got incensed on the 24th of October 2023 when something criminal bordering on state-sponsored anarchy, a convention was held at Mulungushi International Conference by one Mao Sampa and well guarded by the state police. Everybody condemned it as a sham, but it was not to be. The fingerprints, how they were done and lifted in the middle of the night, how the registrar of society was intimidated and later on removed from our office because an illegality had to be commissioned. They had to change the office bearers. That is totally unacceptable. It was an assault on our constitutional democracy because in a multi-party like ours, we need a strong opposition. And to do what they did was extremely unfortunate. And one would have expected that because that was a criminal act, the Republican president would to uphold and protect the constitution of the land will intervene and correct this situation. I want to remind the people of Zambia that the Registrar of Society falls under the Ministry of Home Affairs. It's a government wing. And the Registrar reports to the Permanent Secretary, and the Permanent Secretary reports to the Minister, and the Minister reports to the President, Republican President. You can see that no matter how much they would want to exonerate themselves, that PF wrangles are internal, it will never go away. That PF wrangles are state-sponsored. And it's from that premise that I did a campaign, because it became clear that the problem of PF was big, because it spilled in or to the courts, our judiciary. When there was an attack on the Patriotic Front, the initial instinct was to go to court. Little did they know that the court had come on board in the destruction of the Patriotic Front. An injunction was granted to the original team of the Patriotic Front, which was lifted 3 days later. And Mao Sampa started running the party while the matters are in court. Very sad. And the judge who was handling the Patriotic Front will perpetually adjourn these PF matters sine die. In other words, without a returnable date. They will go to court, the judge will hear them, and will tell them the matter is adjourned, the date will be advised later. That date is 5-6 months. In the meantime, somebody else is cannibalizing the party. We tried so much to make sure that the rule of law prevails and the courts don't play ball with the executive. And correspondence was engaged with the judiciary, but nothing could be done. To this very day, something of normalcy is trying to show its face. But again, every time there will be a ruling or a judgment, the judge is not available, the matter is adjourned. When the judge is available, the dates are changed. The judgment is not ready. Today you are dealing with a consent order, a matter which closed on 28th November 2025. We are in March. We are still struggling, trying to get this matter straight. But that aside, in your opening remarks, you mentioned ECL. ECL is the gentleman who was the president at the time that we decided to form OSIDA and get him out of power so that we can disrupt that administration. And when he lost power, I must tell you, I never thought even one moment that I will meet ECL and discuss national affairs with him. Never. But it took a day, if I'm not mistaken, in the month of April or May 2023, that in one evening, I'm coming from the farm, I get a call from a former PS, Amos Marupenga. And I knew Amos when he was at the Post newspaper, because I was very close to the newspaper at that time. He asked me whether I would want to meet Isiro, and I told Amos, no, it will be moral. I abused that man. I regret. I have no courage to meet him. Then he said, no, it's him who wants to see you. I said, no. What are we going to discuss? Two of us. I think we must be decent enough that we give people the latitude to rest with respect. He's got a lot of friends he had in the Patriotic Front. I think I'm not very keen. But in our conversation, I gave in. And he said a date, rather time, that I should have dinner with the former president. Again, that was a bit strange. Brebner, must have dinner with Mr. Edgar Lungu. That was strange. But fast forward, that did happen. Amos took me to ECL's residence in Ibex. And what surprised me, I found two people at the entrance of the house waiting for me. That was ECL and his wife, Madame Esther, the former First Lady. They received me from their entrance and ushered me in the house. When we went, we talked, three of us, the First Lady, the former First Lady, and this year, and she told me, let me leave you two of you, I prepare something to eat. And that left me with ECL. And ECL asked me to say, Brebner, feel free. There's nothing to fear here, because I was a bit apprehensive. Says, feel free. Why I want you to interview me. ask me all the questions on the things that I did wrong while I was in power. I said, that's good. I asked the president, I said, Mr. President, can you allow me to record my conversation with you? Because I was a bit uncomfortable. And in his usual way of doing things, he agreed. And we had to summon Amos outside. Amos recorded my conversation with ECL, my first contact with him, for 1 hour, 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. The phone's battery just ran out. I am telling this background because what will come out from that dinner was a lifetime of friendship anchored on trust, which was well verified. ECL would not spend a day to the day without giving me a call or me giving him a call. I used to talk to ECL nearly every day with an average of 3 to 4 times in it on various issues, to a point that I came to know PF, and that's why I'm talking about this. I knew too much about PF. I knew who is who, but PF. I knew who laughs with who talks to who doesn't talk to who. I am privy to the rivalries in the Patriotic Front. And in the last 6 or 9 months since the death of ECL, I have played a background role of trying to unite this political party because of too many vested interests, and much of them state-sponsored. You can see them. There is a lot of wrangles, mistrust, and to the larger extent, abuses, where individuals are just abused for what they are. And it's for that reason I have been in contact with the Mundubiles of this world, with most of the parliamentarians. I became for the first time very close to Given Rwinda, we are very close, Nakachinda, wonderful human being, and I am a friend of those who are trying to bring the Patriotic Front to life. In the last 4 or 5 months, there has been this election in the Patriotic Front, which they have failed to host for various challenges, and one of them legal, because PF matters are in the Patriotic Front. And for some reason, this is where leadership failure becomes a danger to national security. For some reason, we have a guy called Chavinga who is recognized by the UPND leadership and celebrated. This is a gentleman who claims to be PF president, but you will never find him in a PF groupings. Never. But wherever there is a UPND, is even given a platform to speak, to even attack the Patriotic Front colleagues when matters are in court. And the custodian of the Constitution, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, smiles with so much happiness that they have got a willing distractor of the Patriotic Front. To him and many of his colleagues, they celebrate Chabinga, despite that what he's doing is not in the best interest of the country. It's a distraction that must be stopped. And I know life is a circle. Chabinga will be answerable someday. And the gallery is playing too. The UPND gallery will not be there for him. This government should have assisted people like Chabinga to be normal and do what is right for the benefit of our constitutional democracy. This has delayed, and citizens of this country in the opposition can't even meet to carry out their constitutional mandate of mobilizing, canvassing, and hold rallies to call and spread their manifestos. They fear the state police will clamp on them, as if Zambia is a police state. And you know, this only happens to the opposition. The ruling party can do anything out of this world, and they will go home and sleep. Democracy in this country is under siege. We are an endangered democratic country. We are sliding or sleepwalking into authoritarian state. Let's come to the election of Makebi. The election of Makebi has been done in the most extraordinary and challenging manner, but I would only say congratulations. Where there is a will, there is a way. And again, this is an election that was dividing the Patriotic Front. There are those who have been pushing for this convention from last year, to the point where those who are not patient had to walk away and go to Tonse and later on FDD, because they wanted this convention like yesterday. And Luvinda held steadfast that we can't hold this convention because of ABCD and a lot of challenges along the way. The convention has survived a lot of legal and technical landmines, which could explode and maim any time. And today, the people who are pushing for this convention from last year, they are the first people to attack this convention. And here, I will single out, I read an article this morning when I woke up, written by Dr. Lawrence Mwelwa, an academician, very intelligent citizen. A mind that we celebrate. He has attacked the convention, but he doesn't explain how he finds himself on the other side. It was out of impatience, not being patient, because Ruvinda was too slow. Now Ruvinda organizes something they always wanted. They attack it because all things being equal, it must favor them. So sometimes it's important to understand where you are coming from and where you are going. If there is any people that must attack the convention that brought Makebi to the PF presidents, the last people must come from Tonse, those PF men and women who have migrated. The best we can do today is not to attack each other. That's my next line. This grouping of Makebi must start today to work together with the Munduvile team. They must start today to work together with the Hari Karava's team. They must start today to work together with the Kapembwa Simbao's team. We must put up a coalition of opposition. This is not a time to be selfish. You will be swallowed. We have a government in place that does not regard the rule of law as a way of life and a cardinal necessity. You will perish if you remain selfish. I am speaking as a guilt man who supported the UPND and Mr. Hakainde Hichilema in the opposition. I stood by him. And I keep on saying, there are moments he stood on my shoulders. We were
thank you, Brebner.
one
Thank
family.
you for the historical insights. They are so important. Some facts I'm only learning now. I knew you were very close to the late president, but some facts you've reviewed are very, very important. This election was organized by the PF, led by Given Lubinda. We've recognized that they've attempted to legally remove his legitimacy and legality of the PF, but everyone has accepted that Honorable Given Lubinda holds the PF together. The conference that he has organized that has elected his successor, Makebi Zulu, and successor to the late president, Edgar Lungu, is being attacked. That is not a PF conference. You, who has traversed, gone to the judiciary, gone to the Chief Justice, gone everywhere, spoke to the church, spoke to everyone. Then you have spoken to all the faction in the Patriotic Front. What is your view about this outcome? Is this a PF president?
Let it be known to all those who love this country that there must be a time of reflection. There must be a time to move forward. The election that was conducted by Given Lubinda must be supported. This is an election where the organizer actually lost. That's how important just that piece. This is an election which has been held in a manner not to offend the legal cases that are pending, which other people want to use as a leverage to discredit this election. It will not work. Zambians are resolved. They need to move forward. Any impediments or any distractions by those who think for some reason the Patriotic Front is but their own cherished baby, they will regret. In my movement with ECL, up to this very day that I am on TV, I want to say it publicly that the Patriotic Front is not just a political party. I've come to realize the Patriotic Front is not just a movement. The Patriotic Front has a soul. This is a party that has remained intact as the leadership is destabilized, both internally and externally. But the grassroots is intact, firm, loyal, and resolved. This new leadership must be celebrated. Wait for Friday 27th judgment. If it will be there, again, it's with caution. If it will be there. Because this country today is unpredictable. All systems are in disarray by design. So if Friday comes and makes one of the most important pronouncement on the Patriotic Front, we must find a way on how to synchronize the election of Makebi Zulu and the judgment which I must pronounce must give back Patriotic Front to the owners, the original owners. And the original owners belongs to ECL. And upon his demise, the original owners remained with Given Luwinda, Raphael Nakachinda, Jean Kapata, and many in that grouping. Those are the original owners who have to chart the spirit of PF in this very short space of time that they have remained with to go to the filing of a presidential candidate, and indeed parliamentarians and councillors, council chairmen and mayors. So at this point in time, it will not help to continue in fighting. What we must fight, I will repeat, is for Munduvile, Makebi, Harikaraba, Kapembwa Simbao, Sakwiba Skota, Chishalakateka, to come together and have that spirit of Kenneth Kaunda, Munukari Mbwasparo, Mundia, Narumino Mundia, Mainza Chona, Hari Mwanga Nkumbula, Mungoni Liso, Humphrey Mulemba, that spirit of the nation first before positions. Because it is like now everybody wants a position and the country later. It will not do. What we are going into is a struggle for second independence. This is cardinal. We have lost so much in terms of rights, freedoms, and liberties. They have been taken away using parliament and other underhand methods. This country is divided. Nobody must cheat you. When I appeal to President Hakainde Hichilema to call a national Indaba, it's not a joke. I am a citizen. I move amongst people. I listen and I hear. People are whispering because if they speak louder than Changala, they will go to jail. There is sedition. There is hate speech. And that's hate speech and sedition is only meant for a certain section of our citizens. And it exempts another section of our citizens. The targets, the abuse is astronomical. We are living in a frightened society where you need to prepare yourself before you comment on any matter as to whether you have a lawyer. This only happened in the colonial days and in the Second Republic of Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda. I never knew that after August 2021 general election, we would have a scared nation, pushed in a corner of silence and fear. And the men and women governing us, they see nothing. If anything, they celebrate. Zambians must reclaim their country. You can't have a government which came to power through a general election, not allowing the opposition for 4.5 years to hold a rally, as if they are committing a crime. And yet, Zambia is a constitutional democracy where political parties have a right to mobilize, canvass, they have a right to communicate, they have a right to sell their manifesto, they have a right to appeal, they have a right to criticize the government's shortcomings. Those are checks and balances. They are not criminal acts or indeed statements of hate. Hate against who? 61 years after independence, somebody can bring a hate speech charge? No.
Thank you.
We need
Brebner.
to free ourselves.
I promise that I'll let you on because of our prior discussion that within 1 hour I'll let you go. But I'll remain with the callers. They can then comment on what Honorable Brebner Changala has, the monumentous words that he has said. My last question, and before you give your last remarks, then we open the phone lines. This country is going to general elections. The electoral calendar is kicking in on 15th April when presidential candidates are required to submit 100 per province, 1,000 registered voters to the ECZ. The calendar clearly is kicking in. Of worry is it possible that Zambia can have a credible, democratic, free and fair election? I'm saying this because the registrar of societies and the electoral process is being used to bar opponents. When they deplatformed the leadership of the Patriotic Front, people thought it's only the Patriotic Front. Now we have seen, just recently in the last 1 month, we have seen the young man Pastor Peter Chanda, removed from the office bearers at Registrar of Society illegally. So Peter Chanda and NCP have been separated. We've seen Sebastian Copeland, he petitioned the misconduct of the speaker. And the following week, in a few days, there was a purported conference under his party, and he was, changes have been made. And again, Sebastian Copeland has been deplatformed. He's fighting that matter. We've seen the case of Savoy Imboela. Clearly, we are hearing again issues around other political parties of what's happening at the registrar. I think we are in grave danger. Is it possible that we can have a democratic, free and fair elections? And what can we do in this last minute with all these happenings?
Well, Ambassador, you have raised very important questions, and I will attend to that. But before I proceed, I will do injustice if I don't make the last appeal to President Hakainde Hichilema to search his soul. I ask him, in the best interest of this country, to allow Mario of ECL. He holds the key. Can he ask Attorney General Kabesha to drop the matter in South Africa and allow the family to bury ECL? Why do I say so? These statements of deception that we want to honor ECL because he is our former president does not hold water. ECL died a sad man at the hands of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. He abused him to the letter. He had no time for ECL. ECL was called a criminal. And to illustrate that, The entire biological children of ECL were dragged to court, to DEC, to SEC, to humiliate him. The question that he must consider and the people of Zambia must ask, where do you honor a criminal with a state funeral? It doesn't work that way. When ECL died, I expected President Hakainde Hichilema to address the nation, eulogize ECL, and credit him with many things that he did for this country. From an MP to a minister in the Vice President office, to the Minister of Justice, Minister of Home Affairs, Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, acting president on many occasions, and later on Republican president. A national address, it has never happened. They jumped the gun. We want to honor him. No. ECL needs a private funeral. A private funeral for all those who are not in good state with their countrymen and women. The entire family. Just the other day, his house in Livala was raided. And the statement from DEC says it was an abandoned house. That's not an abandoned house. That house belongs to one Edgar Lungu. May he so rest in eternal peace. Mr. President, take a step back. Allow your brother to rest in eternal peace without drama. He suffered while alive. He was humiliated while alive. He is suffering in death. He has been humiliated in death. There must be a closure as we go to a general election. Thank you. Let's go to the new coming filing in readiness for a general election 13th August 2026. All things being equal, I can tell you here and now, this election of 2026 will not be like any other election. That I'm not a prophet, but I can see it being shambolic, because the managers and key players are not showing signs of good faith, of being honest. They want to tamper with everything because they have got certain individuals or political parties which they don't want to see on the ballot. This is the behavior and conduct of a political party that has lost favor. This is the behavior of a political party that has failed to deliver. This is the conduct of a failed project. UPND is a failed project. So they are trying to work with systems in order to exclude bona fide Zambians who are supposed to be on the ballot and compete favorably. Standing in an election in Zambia is not a favor. It's a constitutional right. Constitutional right. You should not be segregated by legislations which are ill-conceived. That will not be an election. It will be a sham election. What they are to allow everybody who has the energy, ambition, and time to be on the ballot, not through restrictions and legislation. The outcome you will get will be disastrous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank civil society activist Brebner Changala, an activist of many years, had called him to come and discuss the election that took place on Saturday, 21st March 2026. This was an election to get a leader in the Patriotic Front. And because of his unique relationship with President Edgar Lungu, and also the role he has played to attempt to reconcile the many factions in the PF, is a relentless fighter for unity in the opposition. There's no opposition leader that he hasn't spoken to, that he hasn't sat with. He has, even this late hour, you have seen that Brebner Changala is calling for unity in the opposition, not just in the PF, but in the opposition, so that they go to election as a formidable force. Do you have any last words before I release you and before I open phone lines?
My appeal to Honorable Mundubire, wherever he is, if he's listening, is to pick up a phone and greet Makebi and congratulate him. I know he has not done so. I urge him to do it. I know Harikara has done it. I asked Kapembwa Simbao to do it. What I'm trying to arrive at, I want these people to start talking. It's only when you start talking are you going to agree on the roadmap. Nobody must feel bigger than the other. Makebi, you are the new kid on the block, and you represent the youth of this country. Reach out to Monde, Grefford Monde. Reach out to Lubinda, Shalakateka. Reach out to Muhabi Lungu, to Chulumanda, Sakwiba Skota, and many, and seek the counsel and the wisdom of Prince Akashamba Twambikusta Lewanika and our elder brother Mbita Chitala. You have no choice but a round table. Don't listen to this popularity which can be fake. Sometimes I've seen it. You create an inbuilt popularity, then externally you are vulnerable. Until you agree to push the vehicle of change together, you will suffer and you will cry. So Honorable Mundubire, Makebi Zuru, Harikaraba, Our Lady Shalakateka, you do not have a day or two of luxury. Call each other tonight. By Friday, we want to hear that you have met. We don't want to hear what you discussed. Just that coming together. I know there is this belief that one can do it on his own. No, it is not possible. We have a big machine, state machinery, big machine. And we know the opposition, you are short on resources. The resources you have are the people and unity. It's enough. Let the UPND remain with this cash and checkbook. You go to the people as one people, with one leader, with one ambition. And the message is you are coming to change the way the police is managed in this country before we surrender our rights and freedom to the state police, other than our elected officials. Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much. Brebner, I would like to thank you, and thank you. You came at short notice to come and help give guidance. God bless you. And to our dear viewers, we're hosting civil society activist, rights and human rights activist, Brebner Changala. I'll go for a short break, and when we return, you can call. Honorable Brebner Changala will be listening by phone. If there will be no need to get to him for any specific issue, it will be, but you can now call after the break.
They are becoming monotonous.
Quelle est la date aujourd'hui?
Pardon?
What's the date today?
Today is 11. 11 April.
2023.
Yes.
Okay. To my dear brother Brebner Changala.
Yes.
This is to acknowledge.
We acknowledge
your historic visit to this.
And being one of your fierce critic, coming to meet a victim. These are serious issues, Mr. President. Because it's very rare that people have crossed paths they can come. This is the uniqueness of our land, called Zambia.
A very special visit.
Yes, it's very important.
We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV. We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate, speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV.
Dear viewers, the lines are open. Make your contributions. We're hosting Honorable Brebner Changala, civil society activist and OSIDA leader. Make your contribution. Introduce yourself and make your contribution.
Hello.
Yes, you are on. Please make your contributions.
All right. This is Honorable Hanchega from Mazabuga calling you. I think Mwamba, I want to tell you the truth. The truth of the matter is that as it is now, Zambia needs a person that is known in this country. Zambia doesn't need a person that will come to experiment, because we are tired of
his line is cut. You can call back. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. I'm free. Make your contributions. Brebner Changala.
Rando kwebati finto ba UPND barechita pali PF veshilo kwebati bare kalifisha kwemitima abantu betanga bare foyo kulanga leadership yaba nawo finto bachita panga kwa cafe walekera kwechipani wa showing akokwati na mkwata leadership nomba ilabali fe kwati na be katira fe PF amuntu onse no mwana omunono na ali pokushiko kwebati ba UPND ebale kata PF and chamba kushokusanga kwebati ba president bali na uliao ino muntu ufunga nyechipani cha PF chavinga bali na ngwa panapo bale sekano kuseka lero ifyo barande ifyo turando kwebati yonse fintu yali kwa tempera and ifyo ninga papa takofe kubekala chalo tuikatane tukabombere chapa musoza tukamone wonse nga ma judges ba ikata kuli PF wonse bali abantu bali fwa ikwa kuisa bapingula bakalondolole kwino ifintu balechita cause PF the biggest organization mchalo chesu cha Zambia immediate kwa fika fenani kade bale panga madi jane file monekano kumonekati bale fwa bafunga je PF but fwe bantu twali ba intact wonse po bagesa twe bati TN ba PF twimini ne pali ticket tukaya in fact ne kuti natemo kwe bati bachirabeko veno kuchirabecho chisimbo cha PF bakafwa FA imbi tukavota fwe bantu lero mwe ma judges mwishiro kwe bati insita ikafika nayo ine chavinga erwe fundere kesa kutandalira pali inonchita akusefieni kofine fintu murechita ukona ula mapepa ya PF natotera bamwamba.
Thank you very much. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Tandiwe Ketish Ngoma, calling you from Slovenia.
My dear sister, the researcher, make your contributions.
Yes, Ambassador Mwamba, I just want to say thank you to Uncle Brebner, the civil rights activist, for speaking truth to power. And I just want to agree with him, more especially on the issue to do with the burial of our former president, Dr. Edgar Lungu. Okay, so I'm equally making an appeal. HH. I think this is not the first time I'm making such an appeal. I've written open letters to him. I've written, people have spoken to him. He is just adamant that his predecessor should still be in the morgue up to this time. We are going in the 10th month. It will soon be 10th month from the time that Iseo died, and his remains are still in the morgue. Bahaka inde. Kanshi fia shupa fie, ifi kalamba, ifi akweba tiba lungu. Venga shiki wa finshi. Ofyo mwafidi ruafyo kule kakofie. Kumubidi waba lungu finshi. I know most of the UPND supporters will say, awe teba HH abalenge, fi teba HH is the Lungu family. I'm saying this, and I want this narrative to be corrected. The Lungu family have not refused to have Isiel buried in Zambia. What they want is his wishes to be respected. And what are those wishes? The wishes of the former president, Edgar Lungu, were that in an event that he died, his successor, Hakainde Hichilema, should not preside over his funeral, nor be anywhere near his remains. Banko Brebner Nabalondolola, how Israel was mistreated, how Israel was humiliated, and how Israel was treated ngomwana. And Hakainde Hichilema should be the last person to talk of dignity. Kupela this time. The only dignity that Israel can get from HH is when HH respects his final wishes. By HH, I'm making this final appeal again. Please, let your predecessor rest in peace. Withdraw that case to court, South Africa, and respect the final wishes of your predecessor. What legacy are you going to leave? Abana bakashala balesa mbiriro ko bati kwaliko Bahakainde. Bahakainde was the 7th president of Zambia who mistreated his predecessor Namufwa. When he was alive, he was mistreated. Vafwa, he was mistreated to an extent that his body was not buried. This is the history that our kids will be learning about you, President Hakainde Hichilema. This is the legacy that you are going to leave. Not if we've brought free education, we've done what? No. Anyway, free education because it's as good as free education has to be of quality. Away from that, I get back to Ilya Shidaba Lungu. By church, the legacy what legacy are you going to leave behind? A legacy that you mistreated your predecessor, Mubumi na Mumfwa, to an extent that you moved 9 solid months without being buried. Is this what you want to be remembered for? You want to be remembered to be the president that arrested almost all opposition political members and critics that spoke truth to power? You want to be remembered as a person who never wanted to be criticized. Were you ready to be a president of Zambia? Because if you decide to be a leader, you need to have a thick skin. lelo efifyo ndeni eba inenga nali muzambia baka indeteti bandeke kunkamata. He will give me charges after charges and I would rot in hell. I would rot in jail. People are not able to speak. What I'm saying now, if I were in Zambia today, President Hakainde Hichilema would not spare me. He would send the police who have become the UPND operatives now to come after me because he does not want to be criticized. He does not want to be told the truth. But I'm here to tell you the truth, Mr. President. If your formula Edgar Lungu is something that would not be wished on you, because if itakwava, ishimi pamba, this is a taboo. Mr. President, how do you feel with how are other presidents looking at you in the region? How are other presidents looking at you? Are you comfortable? Are you free? Mr. President, please, I'm making another appeal to you. Let your predecessor rest in peace. Allow the family the privacy. Respect his final wishes. You are the last person who should talk about giving Isi a dignified funeral. Sorry to say this, you wished him dead because if you could have allowed him to go and seek medical attention. But you never. Now that he's dead, you can't be the first person to want to give him dignity. You are but a disgrace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tandiwe Keti Singoma from Slovenia. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Hello.
Hello. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give us your contributions.
Okay. This is Sydney Chilufia calling you.
Yes, Sydney.
Hello? Yes.
Thank you, Sydney. Proceed.
Watoto sana pa kutuletea hii program kaidi mulishani ba Changala.
Proceed.
Ba Changala mulishani.
Make your contribution, my brother. Make your contribution quickly. There are so many calls.
Okay. Ba Changala watoto pa kulanda pa program wachileta nefu mwatu wa fionse tuwa. Number, it's just a quick advice. Please, tuafueni. For PF, despite of us being in diaspora, we really need our PF to be on the ballot. Not only that, the other thing is in Sakamene, this division, Pagat Kabama KB, because now we are counting Bama KB to be our presidential candidate. Whereby Babran Munduvi have a forming. Yes, Babran Munduvi can do better. Can you help us in order to reconcile these two people so that at least they can meet in order for us to take it?
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give us your contributions.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Mwamba. Charles Mbewe on the line.
Mr. Mbewe, make your contributions.
Thank you. Congratulations to MZ Makebi Zulu for scooping the presidential position in the race that was just being conducted. We thank God for everything, and we congratulate to those that participated in the elections, and we salute, to our big man, the man, Honorable Given Lubinda, for the wisdom that he has applied so far. Coming to the issues that are happening, Honorable Mwamba, is that I've met a lot of civic leaders, those that are in civil departments, more especially police, army, doctors, teachers, all these that are under the government are asking that these people should unite, and they have no one to rescue them from the trouble that they are going on through in these ministries. These ministries that you see people driving these GRZ vehicles are going through pain. You can't understand, more especially when they are speaking to you one-on-one. That's when you can get the sense to say Zambians are suffering, not only those that are unable to buy mirimim, but those that are working in the in the government departments are under pressure. They really want the opposition to unite, and they are ready to vote for them come 13th August 2026. So our call is to see to it that all the leaders that means well to the Zambian people should come on board and work together. Please, we pray for all of them to have wisdom and to remove the bitterness of each other and just think about the Zambians first. God bless you, Emmanuel Mwamba. Continue doing what you're doing. And as the previous callers said, please, we're asking you to make sure that these top leaders should unite.
Thank
And
you
once
very
they are
much.
united, we are ready to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, as you are calling, and because Brebner Changala has mentioned names of leaders in the opposition, you know the rule here. Don't disparage one against the other. Remember, we want them united. If you want them united, don't condemn any of the leaders. I think speak positively just to help build what everyone is trying to do. Do not disparage one leader against the other. That's the only instruction I can give, so that the conversations remain decent. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Mr. Emmanuel, and good evening, Mr. Changala. My name is Joseph. I'm calling from Ndora. Yeah, I just want to comment on this. You know, Mr. Mwamba, we really love you so much, and for the efforts and the sacrifice that you have been doing to ensure that these opposition leaders come to. Yeah, but the only problem that I've seen, I don't know why is it that anyone know, but the fact is, why is it that this PF, because PF has already gone, and we know what is happening. The other person has been sold it, and then came back to PF again. But the issue is, this time has gone. We are remaining with the 1 month. Sure, 1 month, 1 month and 1 week to go for.
Hello, are you there? Oh. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and tell us your contributions.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mwamba. My name is Uncle J.
Yes, Uncle J. Thank you. Make your
so
contribution,
much.
my dear brother.
Great. How I wish I could actually listen to Brebner Changala the whole day, you know. Thank you so much for bringing him up. My call is just to echo what Kandiwe Keti Singoma said. Let the president step aside and allow the Lungu family to bury our beloved 60th president, Edgar Lungu. May his soul rest in peace. There is nothing that they can tell the Zambian people. We know where the problem is. We know the person that is stopping this from happening, the president himself. If he did that, we would be very, very happy. Speaking on the election of Makebi Zulu, I think those that wished him to fail, it will not happen. Those that are trying to bring and discredit that convention, it will not happen. Makebi is the president of PF. And all the people in Zambia, all the structures in Zambia are with Makebi. Makebi is indeed anointed. And I'm calling upon those that truly believe in God. God has presented a leader before you who fears him and worships him. Let us support Makebi Zulu. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give your contributions.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Mkwaiba Munkonge.
twatotera pakutuletera abafyashava mulando wakweba osho balondorolana finkuita sana apa abantu nomba beshi byokweba ti pf yaba pakuchita protect pf nga nshinakokweba tuba pokati mukas tuna unsela balirando kweba tiyo batwalulinda tabalibeka ngaba fyasho tubalondorola fyonse abalepanga ama efforts okurusha kweba pf kweya kuma coach kuya pakweba bapebe abere ba pf nomba wati ukubeba afe bafuyire bashita organize mukati kanganda yabo afe bala ikatana so abantu bafuyire kweba ti ifikwabo okusala entungulu zulu tabasalire fe ba pf beka n'abasalira n'ama opposition parties bambya bapala baalikalaba because abantu abakweta ama leaders bambya ama opposition leaders balefera okwikala panji nombapa bano balambu okwikala okulanishanya okumona ofe benga kito okwikala panji bakwe bati bakitali tiimu ikyalo kyensu so bantu bonse abandebeebwe kwabanga mulemufu abantu baleelandayo makebizulu yo kyani tamufuiremu aposa kwamala naye fe babuula bakoti bafira okupingula obulani bukweba ti bapere ba pf wakimu okubula omuntu okumupeera empya ti kabiyoola embe fyako kabiyoola ndebyako mwayumukira zonka napamulandu wakiriro kyabayashi bayisiyo ikyali engogo batwikika okutuka nainonshita mwayumufuyira natotera bamwambala kenishire kwaba nani fotulalanda lyonse emukwala.
Thank you very much. Callers, call, please call. We hear your voice. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello?
Yes, please make your contribution.
This is Gigi Popabelt. Ba Mwamba, let me salute ba Given Ruvinda. Ba Given Ruvinda, bali langa leadership n'omukulu kyafuire okwikatirira paati n'okuyirekera muri bubwino kulanda tinolepita ewa aba president yo nkakita congratulate wa paati so file fyali tushowing ne ba Given Rubinda efisuma file fya kuba tinaifu bonse kwa bali mumbali tulange okuba titwikatani bamakembi zulu ndesubira bale mfano kuni program Brebner Changala balanda bwino sana balanda okutira makembi zulu nakwate ntito yakukonka bala bonse abena monde bonse bala abwali nabo leadership muri presidential race bali nabo na abantu ukwekatana bala bene ba Changala babakonke muri wisdom muri bena babakonke bakekale nabo panshi bonse bala ba PF bafira fyalandire ba makembi bonse babwele tekoba chikwangala election tuliko te mwana wa kwangala yakwikatana okuchita ekintu kimo ikuikatana okuchita kimo notukulala konkelera bamakepi okonkera balabalanda ati ifwe kuno muyisako ifwe kyaperera ababeni ababa bakuma diaspora bamwamba ababantu balitemu okuleta port vision ifwe tefwe tuchita kampeni ifi kampeni yesu ifwe kuba unite uwapita bonsero nomba mwamutungirira bamundu bile balefu abakuminkale pamwe n'amakebi bakita ekintu kimu babateeke panshi beekale mumwane bamwamba okutwala apita mulikana mumwana kiri ekikitike aba baana fo balubana nomba bamba n'okulaka taifo baana maayo okulaba kupuma ku baana olufuyele awo bamwamba tapali utemerwa ekiro ekitika mwanti. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Dr. K calling from Montana.
Oh, Dr. Kalonde, yes, my dear brother, make your contribution.
Yeah, Wamwamba, I have two things to say actually. I'll first start with just accepting that we have small issues in our running of our country, more especially the opposition. And I'm happy that at a certain point it seems like it's a funnel, and it's getting to the end whereby now we are going to get out what we want to use during the final elections in August. Let's hope it goes that direction. I just want to have to talk about our leaders, whether they are in opposition, in other opposition parties within opposition. They must understand that this is not about them. This is not about Makebi. This is not about Mundwile. This is not about anybody, even Edgar Lungu. This is about the people of Zambia. They need new leadership to take Zambia forward. If we want to put our names there and forget about the people that we want to lead, then we are not doing anything. We're not doing any justice to that country. We cannot allow the situation that is prevailing right now to continue. And the only way that situation would continue is when and if the opposition does not work together as a team. Up to now, I still recall 1991, how we defeated UNIP with the one Zambia, one president and one party state. That's how we defeated that. We came together. And if Zambians are not going to put their heads together, and this year, this leadership continues the one that is there, Bakadila, Ukudila, Ile Mukumona Kwandi. And I've analyzed everything. This is my job as a professor. I always analyze things. Seriously. If we don't do anything, we are going to see the situation that is in Uganda prevailing in Zambia. We are going to see the situation that is prevailing in Tanzania prevailing in Zambia. Are we going to allow that as Zambians? Wakaunda warned us, and we're supposed to go back to our roots, go back to the drawing table, and fix ourselves. Nobody's going to fix us. Nobody's going to fix us. We have to fix ourselves as opposition and as a people of Zambia. The second part of what I wanted to talk about. I think Mwarishima Mwebeng that Liakuluakula. Nafuma Mwakazembe. Mulamu nefe Mwakazembe na mchipango na dingila mona alika watatomo wakulile. But nalame wuktilati. Apa ama emotions na yema. I'm very emotional on this. The discussion of putting our chief Kazembe in that sedition and espionage discussion with Bamundibile by the government. The government should leave our chief alone. The government should leave our chief alone. He has nothing to do with the government of today. He doesn't mean a talanda. Government. Respect our chief. And I'm calling upon the Lopra people to realize that our chief must be respected, and our chiefs must be respected. We respect other chiefs, and they do whatever they want. They say whatever they want to say. Chief Kazembe is quiet. Leave him alone. Please do not bring him back into your discussions. He is not a political leader, and he does not want to be a political leader. He has ubufumu. You can say anything about us, but leave our chief. Leave our chief.
Indeed, I stand with you. Let's not harass our traditional authorities. Let's not do that. Thank you very much, Professor Kalonde. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and make your contribution.
This is Raphael Chanda calling from Livingstone.
Raphael, make your contributions.
Changala n'abalondolola bwino sana kali mukulondola kwabo I think n'abatupeerako na hope yakwika kyanya. But just like I said yesterday, I'm not too comfortable. Abantu abaretuma amakoza periforamu hii wambo kutuma phone wambo kurando kwe wati istanaipwa amakebi bafume pa PF wambo kufa political party ye barabengiremo nomba gushara abantu baturepunda tu amakebi bafume ku PF bari mukwengera muri iyi political party gushebe nato bare tontonganya kwati abantu babo bafume murya bese bakonke bamakebi zuru. Does it mean that abantu babo ebakwete leadership aba basharata bakwete leadership aba basharata its bakwanishi because mumitumene imbira like I said yesterday mamba tamari umuchishi because is this a way you can invite a fellow leader zapunda fati yo party eneyo yari kwate fimfurunganyo kumenko kumwisoko ngabari abari kulya this state bafumina gusa mfano kuri bamakebi nango example bamakebi bapere ero bari pa EMV bari pero bati uro mwana wa lubiro wa ebere ba wishat no zakanyani ko ine fyuma nkai ikalira ninkula ero sendere fire fyuma ko ayirali afyo na ula fyapwa ba wista ba imiro ko yamkumufwaye umwine wa Australia rise ko bato na bishenya kuti batata lekeni mbwere no ko yalombo bwerelo mwimbona mwisenda ngo mwana wenu sendeni nga umuba babonzi benu because ali shibali kufye nomba muri kesi kure munagati ma parents na ile family yakapura prodigal son bafuire bengire mu field konka ura prodigal son waire otabata mfyo mwino washiranda no ine ninkula ine kutuna isunga ine ninachita so nalo bare tumama phone apa bare tumama phone as if need unity equal to where people are coming together.
Yes, no, thank you very much. No, thank you very much. I had Mkwayo. If you're Mulelanda, I had directed that for all callers, I'm always sensitive on this program that we don't disparage any other leader. We don't want you to disparage Makebi Zulu or Honorable Harry Kalava or Honorable Brian Mundubire or Honorable Dr. Fred Membe, KBF and others. We want you to be respectful, even in your proposal. You saw how respectful Brebner Changala was. And you, the listeners, ought to do that. Yes, we are calling for unity, but let's not disparage other leaders. I think that's been the instruction. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and give us your contributions.
Thank you very much, my brother. How are you?
Very well, thank you, my brother. How are you? Make your contributions.
My contribution is that that was a masterpiece program. Point by point, I agree with everything that Brebner Changala said. And I would urge all opposition political parties to listen to this. And those who have missed it, make sure Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba that they listen to it. Number one, he said that we know the opposition have got little resources. Their resources is the people plus unit. That is the resources that the opposition have. And I want to seize this opportunity, of course, to congratulate Makebi Zulu for winning to be the president of the Patriotic Front. And we want to tell him that we are going to support him to the hilt. We will do everything possible that will support him. But what we are saying is that he should heed the advice that was given here. The opposition should start talking right now. Makebi Zulu should start talking right now. That is it.
My brother, your line is hanging. Oh, your line is hanging. Let's try again. Continue.
And you see, he was very exact. He was going to my internet today. How is it?
Yeah, it's better.
And can I proceed?
Yeah, proceed quickly and wind up.
So he further went on to say that he never support a desperate man. When you see somebody desperate for political power, never support such a person. So, in conclusion, what I'm saying is that these opposition political parties, if they are going to be so selfish, they will perish. We are asking for all of them to ensure that they come together. But surprisingly, I took note of all opposition leaders that he mentioned. And surprisingly, he didn't mention the Socialist Party President Fred Membe. It's he who has mentioned him, but he didn't mention him. So we are appealing to all opposition political parties to ensure that they
No,
come
he mentioned
together.
Dr. Fred Membe at the beginning. He did mention him.
Oh, okay, then
Yeah.
I just must have missed that one.
Yes,
What
thank you.
we are saying and pleading is that let the opposition political parties, all of them, heed this advice. If they are going to become selfish and greedy, if they are going to put their titles ahead of Zambia, then they will perish. And I want to agree vehemently with each and every line that was put. This program is a classic. It was a masterpiece program. Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, my brother.
Thank you very much, my
Thank you
brother.
very much for your interest effort in bringing us this platform.
Thank you. Indeed, I think Brebner Changala reviewed, also acknowledged some of the things he said there were so important. So, hello caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions.
Good evening, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
Good evening.
And greetings to our father, Mr. Changala. My name is Andrew.
Yes, Andrew.
Yes. First and foremost, I wanted to congratulate the Patriotic Front for holding the conference under very difficult circumstances. I think where there is a will, there is a way. And I think under the prevailing circumstances, I think they did a commendable job. And I would like to thank the former president, Mr. President Given Wenda, I think who led the party through this period. I think he did his best to hold the party together with your leadership, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba and the Central Committee, and all the other leaders. Job well done to you. Two, I want to agree with our father, Mr. Changala, that the opposition leaders must unite. And I think he called on President Makebi Zulu to immediately begin talking to his colleagues, those with interest of the country. I want to agree with him because I think it's not everyone that can come on board. So I'm also appealing to our father, Mr. Changala, if he could also be part of that team to try and bring people, these other opposition leaders together. I know, Mr. Mwamba, you have guided that we should not disparage other leaders, and I want to respect that. But I just feel that personally, and my comment is not, with all due respect, is not to disparage anyone, but I just feel compelled that I want to register my displeasure and my disappointment with what our elder brother did, Honorable Mondobile. I would have loved Mondobile to exercise a little bit of patience. I would have loved him to hang in a bit and be part of the process. I would have loved him to be part of that process, but alas, he went and participated in a meeting that is deemed illegal, and in that meeting, together with Bazumania and others, they made a decision to expel PF, the anchor party, which is very unfortunate. Up to now, Nalwa Mushok, Ambassador, up to now, I don't understand what really happened and what really caused Wamundubile to engage in such an illegal act. But my prayer is that one day he will come around and get back to the PF and reconcile with everyone so that they work together with everyone to save the majority Zambians.
Thank you, my brother.
I'm very disappointed. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Thank you so much.
speaking.
Oh, network in Zambia today. Hello? Oh, sorry, I have to cut that line. It's just cracking. I'm sorry. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions.
Yeah, my name is Caroline. I'm calling from East London, South Africa.
Yes, Caroline.
Mwaika shani ba mwamba.
Yole salet sunga shana imwe. Make your contribution, my dear sister.
Kuti na temwa sana. Ba mwamba inafoni nga temwa ba makebi zulu ukubomba na ba kasonde mwenda. Ba kasonde mwenda it mean very well Mzambia. So kuti na temwa sana ini ba president wesu wa makebi zulu ukubomba na ba kasonde mwenda. He's a straight man.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you very much.
Okay, na totera ba mwamba.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Yes, Mwamba Murishani.
Yole salet pala.
Twatotera bayama ba Changala Murishani. Vare humfwa.
Mkwai.
I believe. Twatotera. Onse apova vidin mowa Burushandi. Imwe muvagamba bandi. Changala ni bayama. So therefore kulanda so. Uncle Brebner, you are very experienced in this, in governance issues. Look, we have a new leader, Makebi Zulu, and I know that people didn't think he was going to win, but he has won. Now, you need to help him, guide him, let him be decisive, let him show leadership now. Let him, is the
Oh, phones are hanging.
decisive. It should be very.
Sorry, we lost you there. Repeat your thoughts quickly.
I was saying that he should be very, very decisive. He should quickly start moving the ship so that once it quite a direction, to go to there.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions. Hello. We'll be stopping on the hour. We want to take your calls. Make your contributions. You are on. Oh, the lines are hanging. I wonder what is happening. The lines are hanging. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Hello. Okay. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contributions.
Alva Mwamba Ndelomba.
Yes.
Injika Kongo. Echikongo nkwete Ndelomba ngakutina landa Kongo mubomfi wako alesa.
Landeni.
Bafile chitika mu Zambia. Wabasiyashwa Brebner Changala. Lesa chisendo umpashi wandi ukwisamona umpashi wa repentance wa ishilepo nena pari Lungu. Umupashi wa kuiluka no kuichefya pamukumo. Wabatsinga pari echo nalufyenye ichili chonse ndefu aunjipushe pama mistake yandi pali mfwa imo ba Mwamba ikankamike chalo nomba ngatwalolekesha pa mfwa ilia mwalamu nati chilangililo necho nalandilefi uli omwana kashi afuile ulufyengo imfwa iya lufyengo uli awine waluletele ewaishiliambo kuipanga kwati na kalimo eulefu okumupususha luli amona tichaya kububi fuebene Zambia wala mona ba Simon Mwewa Lane balila ba mama chikamoneka balila abantu abapusana balila nimbele ngalelo kwebati bakateka abalandati babekate bonse bali abakwete molu bali mumfwailia naichefya kuchinso chakwalesa nakuba fyashe abaletu abapresident bachalo chesu naleta amashiwi yakwa Nathan kuli David nati bakateka nimwe elo mwaleto babana wakwe amabwe nimwe echalengele abana bese bambyo kumitoba amabwe bakateka ngamule umfwa amashiwe aya nimwe webatobele isi yo amabwe afwe akaele mwabwela mwatoba baidis na wakwe amabwe mwabwela amuti badi abatobele uli omwana kashama bena babakake naisanga Nathan delano kwebati baichichi na mweni mwe ituleni kuchiso cha kwalesa lapileni ulombe obwelelo pamulandu wakulato babakaele amabwe Changala mwabwela mwabatuka mwabwela mukukakisha abana batu mupashurya nimwe mwebeswile chivi chabubifi chakulabetesha bakaele fuebene Zambia twakana tulelombo luse kwatenyu luse lekeni balungu balale muchivote mwabwela mwabatoba amabwe abakaele banga abafuile kuminweshe mushe takwaba mipambe shitulemona na mayo aendo bwamba bali abali nokumuchingirila bakapokola bali kwi bafile okumuchingirila ifunde muzambia nali bipa talichingirila omuntu uli onse awe lero pamulandu wabubifi chachine fya bafyashi baladile ba Brebner awe mwebene Zambia never again tuikatalo kuwekeshapo kuviko muntu ulefwa fyo chwalefana lese fyasuminishe makepi ni pamulandu wa mutima wa kuichefya mutima wa minsula nero bakutoba amabwe ulekabilo kwebati bonse abantu bekale mu kintu kimo tesatwelele.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Emotional call there, call for repentance and call for togetherness. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Oh, this is South Africa from Canada.
Yes.
Mwamba mulishani na Changala mulishani.
Mkwai, we are well, thank you. Make your contribution, my brother. Hello.
Yeah, bamulebomba. Sana sie. Yeah. Na unabakwata ile continental convention bakwete ba PF. Politics is about numbers. Akabangirile takanwini yanku takanwini amashaya ayakunda ikayo kanwini ayalengama. Ba mundu bile kale bayamba bina bali bangirira nabantu bakwete nabafuta. Ayo banani ba makebi zuru na bawine convention bakiri bali ku court abo.
Ao bane natukanye, if you don't disparage anyone, don't praise one leader against the other. The instructions are very clear. If we are talking unity, let's not clash our leaders. Let's speak unity. Let's not even compare them.
So what should we talk about?
What you should talk about is what you wish to talk about. If you are of the view that certain leaders should unite, speak about that. I don't want you to praise one leader and disparage the other. No, that's not the spirit of the program.
All right. So what I'm trying to say is the two of them should be united. They shouldn't just separately go, no. If they go like that, they will suffer a lot of consequences. Let only one stand from the PF. Because we cannot refuse that Brian Mundubire is not PF. He is still PF. Even the people that he has taken are PF members. So let one of them stand, not two of them. Otherwise, they will regret. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Hello, callers. I'm taking the last three. I'm taking the last three calls.
The Honorable Mwamba.
Yes, indeed.
Mwamba, mine have got a very serious concern this evening. Mwamba inena nimpa pana democracy yesu ya Mzambia wa Mwamba. Kufe tufile stika mu democracy yesu. Mwamba aba mayaba fuma power leader balelanga fwe charo chesu chirerira umuropa. Mwamba abantu nabafwa sana. Ndemye bantu nabafwa sana mu Zambia. Kasensiri maini kulia bache balifwa ngembwa ngena mashamu mpanga. Bamwambo mwache ku mufuliro kuba mukonkeri ali kwitobunga munganda. Bamushutire mfuti mwache. Bamwamba finge vote chitute mufyaisa na pano abantu bali umfofu abantu bafuire muri kimwe cyaro. Nkufu afya ati beshi basumi umuropa. Bamwamba na chirafu okulanda kwecho nkonkere sana muri kino cyungulo. Ni demokrasi yesu yako bati bambya mayompizi bamwamba tabaranda no kulanda. Abamu demokrasi yacu no chikopo tufikira mayompizi barabashikana invade privacy. They have been recorded in parliament, they have been monitored in parliament. We have reached a point where Mwambaya Koba Tama MPs were to no. That's why Mona Wakari Pirafia Neri Muti. Mamuna. Bring one of MPs who come and testify what I'm saying to say. They have been watched, they have been mic'd. Bamwamba, Democrats takuwa abeya Koba Tina wika na fine. Bakapokora baisa bakupoka phone mambo kurabika kwa computer yabo inventing your privacy na ina ma cyber laws baleta bamwamba ma phone turasungira mu fintu ifingi ifya kwa tafira bamuntu uri onse yamwana no nikapokora no linani kino cyaro cyari kwata sana umutende utakwa mu Zambia ni wingatemwa ukuleto ikimfurungane mu cyaro cya Zambia cyo twatemuisha fino ngafire fyashitike kuri ba Brebner Mundubire pora pene turelanda ma Zambiani bali bapoka amafoni yabo yonse atatu olo Brebner Mundubire teba baba Facebook bachitapo efi mu Zambia ushe cyber law ni democracy no dictatorship because in a democracy every person is entitled to privacy and a lot of people are not talking about it. This thing is out of order. ama MPs tabakwata privacy, abantu former citizens we don't have privacy. Ine Mwamba have got the right to talk to you. I've got the right to talk to a chief wabali bonse. Munu chino chalo. I've got the right to kuranda na bachifu nkula. I've got the right to talk na ba Mwamba bamwine mushi bamwine Rubemba. I've got the right to talk to my friend, any friend in Zambia. I don't see a point, even ukutuchita divide to a point of tureko kuranda fueka. Mupato washani aba batata bakwata. Mwenja twa Mwamba ndo kuvula vifoni ukutumina nkashandi uri ku America uri ngo che King Cobra mulandu. Tauri mulandu. Fwe turachitako ubukwevo King Cobra ndimkutana nshitira ko tuntu turi ku America kuri ade ntubina ko kunonde shitisha. Ofo twaikara fwe mazambiani. Bacha batata barefo barete no kuwa tufike ko bati turefura no kurandara banesu. Bena balelanda na bachifu wabo kuwa walisa nkuwa mwana lyonsenga ngabatukana bakateka ba Edgar Lungu ngababula ba Edgar Lungu batukana babekata olo bachifu wa mkuwa mwana bale mkuwa mwana taparu wale bakanya batiro abantu barebeka tira pafya fye apa bona no kupanga omulandu Chireme andu twareje muna bamwambesha reje tikesha ko ati muno muzame takapo muntu wa chitabo ferati yo ba president bare pito wa mkuchita filefia musango filefia musarura turamona ko bapita ba president nga bare pita kulafo ko bapera fe muchinji bare pita fe muri buvuiro because ina position ya very respected but in a sense that bambita ba cheri ko kona that ba Edgar kwa Lungu ni ba president fo bare basarura na filia lekeni abantu ba Edgar Lungu bare abatushe bekakira abana abo mumfwa na tuisho file chitikapa fwe boturi babemba ukakira umuntu obe mumfwa kubi.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
I wanted to call earlier, but then I changed my mind. I thought people were making contributions that I was enjoying listening until that woman came and made that very passionate and emotional submission. My name is Anonymous from the land of AI.
Yes, Anonymous.
And I just feel that sometimes when you have a conversation like this, maybe you just want to have something to hang on to, because it's been a very deep program that you've had today. So I just wanted to make a contribution, maybe 3 parts to it very briefly.
Yeah.
In one, I'm just proposing for us to consider this thoughts that perhaps as we go to 2026 August, we need to be clear what we want. We know who we don't want. We know we don't want Akainde Ichilema. We need to remove him. The way that he's doing things and all this kind, we know. But we need to also be clear about exactly what we want. And I think the first thing that this country needs, a lot of people will give it different names. We need healing, we need what? And I think I'll call it renewal. And the reason I'm calling it renewal is because of that verse in the Bible that says, repent therefore and be converted that your sins may be blotted out, so that times of refreshing may come from the presence of God. That's Acts chapter 3, verse 19. I think we need refreshment, but we need a moment. Number 8, the 8th president, the number 8, represents renewal, refreshing, okay? Starting again, starting afresh. And for us to be able to come to that place, there has to be certain things that must be met. That there has to be a repentance. So we don't just repent, but we get converted. We change our ways. We turn away from sin and we receive forgiveness. When those things happen, then renewal can take place. So we can't speak about renewal without repentance, without convention, without forgiveness of sin. It's very critical. So we need to be able to be clear, to agree that, okay, for us to have a new nation, something fresh, as we get in the 8th president, we need to come to a place of repentance and a place of convention and a place of forgiveness of sin. And the next thing I would like to suggest is the wind of change across Africa. So across Africa for a number of years now, from 2022 up to now, there's been something that has been happening. And I can give you a few names from across Africa. Traore Ibrahim, Burkina Faso, 38 years old. Muhammad Debi, Chad, 41 years old. Assimi Goita, Mali, 43 years old. Basiro Diomaye Faye, Senegal, 46 years old. Mamadi Daomboyua, Guinea, 46 years old. We can go on and on. This is happening in Africa, like right now. In the last 2-3 years, Africa is going back to a younger crop of leaders because this renewal we are talking about is not just limited to Zambia. It is happening across Africa. When Kaunda became president, it was 40 years ago, it was at the beginning. We are going back to that starting point. And that is why people like Makebi is winning the imagination of people. Just pick a random picture of Makebi with people, you will see that people are smiling. You can't do anything about that. It's what's happening. It's the universe. It's God. It is what it is. So there's that, the youthfulness that God wants to bring, that Africa deserves right now is happening. And we need to be able to know that as we go to August, that could be something that we can hang on to. And I think the last thing that I would like us, this one is specifically to us as Zambia, that we need to look at and consider as we go to August 2026, is the words that Makebi Zulu spoke at the church service, at the church service when Lungu was supposed to be buried on the 25th of June in Johannesburg, in that Catholic church. And now you will remember, I'm sure Ambassador, you were watching, you remember that Bishop Alec Banda done everything and whatnot. And when the mass ended, Makebi Zulu went to the podium and stood there and he said these words. He said, Edgar Lungu has refused to sleep until his story is told. And when the journalists were asking him, were interviewing him outside, he repeated those words. When he said those words have they've just remained with me. And they, I think, I don't know what those words mean to other people, but to me, they really, they are so, there's something to those words. There's something that has to happen. You begin to see some things that have been happening lately. And this issue of blocking him from being buried, they are doing it against Lungu. They have no idea. God is an embarrasser of people who are proud. God is an embarrasser of people who are proud. He is thinking, and in the thinking of those minions around him, that by squeezing the widow, he's fighting them and he's punishing them. By grabbing things from the family, he thinks he's winning. But what he hasn't actually realized, that he has become a laughingstock to all the presidents around him. And now his pride and his evil heart, everyone can see he's exposing himself. And the story about Edgar Lungu, if Edgar Lungu ever said plan B, you will know, let me speak to this country of mine, Zambia, you will know the plan B. You will know it. You know, the last words of a dying man are so powerful, and that was just an ordinary man at the market. That was a former president who held a lot of huge portfolios in government, from MP to minister to acting president to president. So we need to really think about what we are doing in the opposition. Let's be sincere. Let's look at what things can we use to unite around ourselves. And I think from these three things I've spoken about, I think this is what the leaders can look at. Are we agreeing on the issue of faith? Are we all saying, as we sit on this table as opposition, are we agreeing that the one place to start from is God, repentance, renewal, to understand that this is what this country needs? Because if we don't agree about that, then I can assure you that God will be the majority. Even if God is alone, he will be the majority. And those that think they have people, they have experience, they'll join in the embarrassment. And then we will have to follow what is happening across Africa, because when the wind is blowing, you don't go against it. We go for youthful leadership. And then we should be able to understand that the things that Lungu spoke must be an agenda for the opposition. If you said someone won't be there at my burial, it should be an agenda for the opposition, because the words of a dying man are very, very important. And if you say that there's plan B, there's going to be plan B. That's just what I wanted to speak about.
You are really from the land of AI. So deep submission, deep submissions. The AI is working. They are wonderful, man, for making those contributions. Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and give us your contributions.
I'm James calling you from Zambia.
Yes.
Mwamba, Changala.
Mkwai.
My contribution from this mine, everyone is calling for Mundo Vire, Kuba United, Makebi Zulu. Changala Wachivati, Mundo Vire, Tuatumia Makebi Soati, Vahampana. The way I look at it, Chichimufino Mwana, Abashash Mukatomana, Malekana. Mwana was Mambo Korea to 1 Mwana, but both are my parents. What I mean is, the PF structures, they both belong to.
The line is hanging. I'm so sorry. I don't know what has happened to the. Are you still there? Okay. You are still there.
Hello?
Yes, continue quickly.
Yes, I'm saying both of them, each one should stand as a presidential candidate, Bamakebi, Navamundoviri, but they should be allowed to use the PF structures as a condition, so that because here we are talking of your splitting the vote. The Zambian people are very smart. You need almost about 4 million votes to win presidency. And the PF structures are maybe less than 100,000. So let us look at the bigger picture. Both of these can use the PF structures, and then abantu abene bakasalapo ng'aniba mundu bena ngwa makempi. Then the main unit they should be talking against the voter protection. These two should be meet is what but share voter protection. It is very cardinal.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Hello, caller. You are my last caller. Make your contributions.
Hello, good evening. I'm Honorable Emmanuel Mwamba. I'm Donosca. I'm calling from Rome, in Italy.
Thank you. Make your contribution, Father.
Yes, thank you so much. I would like to appreciate the program and what Brebner Changala had just told the Zambian people. I really appreciate and I thank this gentleman. He is one of the wise, elderly Zambian people that we can look forward for wisdom and for advice. Indeed, my gratitude. Brebner Changala has mentioned a lot of things. I would just like to associate my thought with what he said. One thing he said was he was a critic of ECL, and then he went to sit down with him and he discovered a different person altogether. He discovered indeed a gentleman. I would put myself in line with Honorable Brebner Changala, who is non-partisan, as I have understood. I'm non-partisan, but I appreciate and I think God is calling me as well to share with my compatriots my experience in this exposure to the diaspora and many countries in Europe, not only in Europe, but also in Asia and in the United States. I try also to participate in Mwamba, and I say Brebner Changala was wonderful. And it reminds me of my experience as well. We campaigned for President Hakainde Hichilema, actually, I did not campaign for him as an individual. We campaigned for the program that he gave us in 2021. Now, among that program that we were given, surprising enough, things started changing. And the danger that I foresaw myself was when a private company was invited in Zambia to study and map the minerals, the riches that our country have, putting it in the hands of a private company. That was very, 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 I was very much saddened about that, because normally, even here in Europe, such a thing can never happen. And then, of course, there are court issues. You see, PF, I've never also judged ECO as an individual, as a person. I just decampaigned ECO because he allowed the cadreism by that time. Now, if cadreism has come back today, and we see what has been happening about Chiwokoloko, some of the cadres who are pro the government are still free, and I've never maybe first the new laws which have been introduced in our country. And then you see that on the other side, on the opposition leaders, and these new laws are really being effective. How many people, Brebner Changala has exhausted all this discussion. How many people are now going behind bars for new cases that I don't even know how I can explain it? So now we are saying, I remember the words of Hakainde Hichilema. Injustice somewhere is injustice everywhere. Injustice to that woman in the Northwestern Province who has been stoned to death is injustice to Madamo Nalumango, is injustice to our First Lady, Madam Mutinta Hichilema. Injustice to that innocent mother, a woman. And this, I also can feel the pain of that lady who phoned you before and she was crying on this platform. Indeed, injustice to one woman is injustice to all the women and the police officers. How I love myself, the professionality of the police. But in this country, the police, why should you act when the president gives you a command? This is my question, and this question I would like you, I would love you to answer me this question. Why should the professional police officers act only after the command coming from President Hakainde Hichilema? Killing a person on the streets by itself, it's a crime. You don't need the president to tell them to go ahead. Why should we wait now the command from the President of the Republic of Zambia for our beloved police officers, those who are professional? Maybe the police officer has been infiltrated by some of the cadres. I hope not. But if the police officers are professional, the way we know them, if Chiwokolo insults, he was supposed to be arrested. If Vasia Kalima would tell us for Wakuluapula, empty-minded, Tatua Kwata Brain, he was supposed to be arrested. But is it this the new dawn where the arrests can only be made if they are confirmed by the president? Is this what is happening in our country? If so, it's very sad. And I appeal to you, Mwema women wa Mozambia, sure, Philadelphia chitike bale samwa, umukashana aleseka, naba fula na mayo. Imwe kuri independence bana mayo bale fula. We got independence from the white people. Fwebe na Zambia alone, fwebe na Zambia kuti tule mona shani na mayo naba mufula umusevo tuleseka no kuseka ninseleshi kulei tukensele fwebene chalo ukulai tukensele awe chitachiweme. And for this reason I appeal again and again. Kuli umbina mayo ule chula. Edgar Lungu. Injustice to one person is injustice to every people, every person. So now, injustice to that woman to Northwestern Province. Now I appeal to you, Mwebena Zambia, Mwema women in Zambia. Think about that woman who has a husband in the morgue in South Africa. And the husband has not been allowed to be buried for more than 9 months. Chilipa munove, lelo, mailo, chikawapaliwe, iliri shamo. Natufumie, I accept for Balanda Wonse. We need reconciliation in this country. Reconciliation is not the Adam and Eve syndrome. It's like we are sick with the Adam and Eve syndrome. Adam, what have you done? It's not me. It's the woman you gave me, Eve. Eve, what have you done? It's not me. It's the serpent. It's the snake that you gave us in the Garden of Eve. The Adam and Eve syndrome, it seems that it has hit our political dispensation in the country. Where has the money gone? We don't know. Where has the 80 million? We don't know. Where has the gold disappeared? We don't know. Where has the switch light gone? We don't know. Adam and Eve syndrome is looming in the country. And that's why we want the strong opposition parties so that they can ask the government to account for any single penny which they have been entrusted. Without a strong opposition political party, the Adam and Eve syndrome will consume each and every one of us. I'm hopeful we are going to dismantle this. And we are going also, how I wish the new politicians, Makebi, Council Sangwa, all the new politicians who are coming in the sphere now, how I can wish, if God is going to bless you with your presidency in these August elections, the first thing I can advise you to do is this. Make it a criminal offense, any politician who uses Imingalato. Make it a criminal offense, any politician who uses the word Imingalato. I know at the moment there's nothing we can do. But if I talk God is going to bless the country, the government is changed, whoever might be the new president, Nganiwa Makebi Zulu, listen Kulich, Nganiwa Sangwa, Nganiwana Niwambiapo, listen to this. Make Chiwedi Mingalato a criminal offense. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Brebner Changala made profound remarks. You probably have to go back to the broadcast and watch. You know, when you are watching in the moment, you don't realize how heavy the words that are being used, the insights and the wisdom. I think this was one of those special broadcasts, and many people felt it. You can watch and watch again. God bless you. On Wednesday, we have Tanya Fuchs. She runs her own podcast. Her videos are very viral on TikTok when she's commenting about the state of our country. And her video, our commentary about the economy of our country are usually quoted even by Reuters and others. Tanya Fuchs will be here on Wednesday. We'll be putting out the advert and look forward to the broadcast on Wednesday. God bless you and shalom, shalom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is to acknowledge the very special visit here this evening, in which we have shown Come on. Great.
Yeah, the beauty and the spirit of brotherhood.
By sharing a meal, we shared a meal.
Yes, that is cardinal. We shared a meal and exchanged notes of historical value. You have told me a lot. Yes. We exchanged a lot.
Yeah.
I've come to know things I didn't know.
It's a paragraph.
Yeah. It is.
Best regards for the future. Yeah.
And you are unique.
You're always welcome, eh?
Yeah, always welcome. I'm always.
Maybe not for the money.
And the name, the unique name.
This signature is not for money. There's no money. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not a politician, like those troubled politicians. You know, I had a visit by my friend, my very good friend, GBM.
Okay.
There's problems. Why are you so close? I said, this is my friend, and we've known each other for a long time. I said, no. Are you sure you're safe? I said, I'm very safe. So, you're not, no one was worried about you having me.
No, I'm very grateful. You don't know what this moment in time, this moment in history, how it will be. But I want to assure you that the persecution that you are going through is temporal.
Yeah, it's temporal.
Yeah. As Kaunda will say, it's this little frightened man.
Of course.
Yeah.
The party, friends and all. So I only lamented that why should you be stripping me of these things and then pushing me and saying, no, we want to protect you. No, you see, demeaning of the president to be seen, to be going without this or that. I said, I don't need you. You don't need me. So I was very clear. I've not complained at all. The time that I've complained is when I've been harassed. I said, you've stripped me of everything, but leave my liberty, my dignity, and my rights. That's what I'm saying even now. You see, 1 minute, I walk the street, somebody says you can't walk the street because you're former president, you are in danger of being attacked and people might attack you and will be blamed as police. That's why we're following you. The next minute I said, but you mean you didn't know that I was former president? When you stripped me of these things, please, go and put your house in order. The next minute I want to go to church, somebody goes into church and says, the party, friends and all. So I only lamented that why should you be stripping me of these things and then pushing me and saying, no, we want to protect you. No, you see, demeaning of the president to be seen, to be going without this or that. I said, I don't need you. You don't need me. So I was very clear. I've not complained at all. The time that I've complained is when I've been harassed. I said, you've stripped me of everything, but leave my liberty, my dignity, and my rights. That's what I'm saying even now. You see, 1 minute, I walk the street, somebody says you can't walk the street because you're former president, you are in danger of being attacked and people might attack you and will be blamed as police. That's why we're following you. The next minute I said, but you mean you didn't know that I was former president? When you stripped me of these things, please, go and put your house in order. The next minute I want to go to church, somebody goes into church and says,
We bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate. Speaking truth to power